Everyone loves to complain these days about how expensive modern pickup trucks have gotten. For example, a new F-150 half-ton truck in the Lariat trim level, which is a mid-level trim, will set you back around $60,000 with four-wheel drive, if not more than that. Even mid-size trucks have gotten crazy expensive, with trucks like my own personal Jeep Gladiator costing as much as $60,000 for a mid-size truck. But is it really true that modern trucks have gotten more expensive if you adjust for inflation? Is this a myth that people just like to complain about, or is this actual reality? So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at the window sticker, the original window sticker from this 2001 Ford F-250 Super Duty long bed Lariat with a 7.3 liter diesel that's sitting here behind me. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the sticker price of this truck from 2001, convert it to today's dollars adjusted for inflation, and then see what kind of truck, what kind of capability and features you could buy for that same amount of money adjusted for inflation, in order to find out, have modern trucks really inflated their prices because of all the luxury features and things that they've added. So first, let's take a look at the original window sticker of my 2001 Super Duty. So if we look at this window sticker here, you'll see that it's around $35,000 and some change. When I do the conversion to today's dollars, that's around 52,000 US dollars. So let's start by approaching it this way. Let's try to buy my same truck, an F-250 with the diesel long bed two-wheel drive in the Lariat trim level, and see what that would cost. Now keep in mind, even though this is the same trim level and configuration, it's not a comparable truck because the features, technology, luxury, refinement, power, torque, hauling ability, everything has gone a huge amount bigger over the years. So it's really not comparable in terms of capability and features, but let's just do this and see what we come up with. So as we go through the configurator here, notice I'm selecting the proper options, the proper configuration of the truck, and things like that. So what I come up with at the end here in this Ford configurator, you can go do this yourself, is that the new truck will cost around $62,000. So I guess the question is, if it's $10,000 more, apples to apples, what are you getting for the extra $10,000? And as it turns out, you're actually getting quite a bit. So let's take a look. So the new truck is going to have 450 horsepower and 1,000 foot-pounds of torque compared to my truck's 250 horsepower and only 500 foot-pounds of torque. The new truck has a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is going to be awesome for always having the right gear ratio when you're towing a heavy load. My truck only has 4 speeds and it's always stuck between gears 3 and 4. The new truck also has features that they couldn't even imagine back then. Integrated brake controllers, the infotainment system, the screen, the luxuries, the heated and cooled seats that you can get, all these crazy things, the trailer technology stuff with the backup on the trailer. And that's not even mentioning the extreme level of refinement and luxury and comfort and quiet that the new truck has compared to the old truck. So what if we took this equation and took the truck we're looking at here, the F-250 diesel, but instead of getting a diesel, what if we got the 7.3 liter gas engine? And here's why I say that. The 7.3 gas engine has way more horsepower than my old 7.3 diesel does. It also has nearly as much torque. So it's kind of comparable in terms of power if we're being honest. I know it has a little different characteristic than a diesel engine, but hear me out on this. The gas engine is smoother, it's quieter, it's going to be cheaper to maintain in the long run. It's also cheaper to buy. So by swapping out this engine on the new truck, it actually brings the price down to $56,000 for this new truck. Only $4,000 more than my old Super Duty in today's dollars. Now yes, gas won't quite get the fuel efficiency that diesel would when you're towing a heavy load, but since gas is usually a bit cheaper per gallon, you have to factor that in. You also have to factor in the cheaper maintenance as well. So here's the next question. What is the most capable light-duty truck you could get for $52,000? And here's where I'm going with this. I think that if we configure an F-150 in a certain way, it can come very close to matching, if not exceeding, a lot of the capabilities of my old Super Duty just because of the advancements in technology and the frames and the suspensions and the powertrains. So let's take a look at this. Let's configure this F-150 here to try to get the most capable F-150 half-ton truck we can in today's money. So we're going to select the 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine, not the hybrid. Also, very importantly, we're going to select a couple packages that will help make this truck more capable. The max payload package is very important. That will bring our payload way up. Maybe not quite all the way to what the old F-250 has, but pretty close. So as it turns out, when I go through here and configure this F-150 with similar levels of equipment and the best powertrain and the best payload package, it's actually coming in under $47,000. So it's over $5,000 less than my truck cost. So let's see how this compares. So this F-150 is going to have more horsepower, far more horsepower. It's going to have the same amount of torque, right? So we're at 400 horsepower compared to my old 250 horsepower, and we're going to have 500 torque compared to my old 500 torque. The payload, I don't know what the payload is of my F-250 because it doesn't state, but I'm guessing it's around 2,500 pounds. So we're probably going to have somewhat similar payload on this F-150. In terms of tow ratings, what it's actually rated to tow, this new truck is going to be rated under the SAE J2807 standard to tow 12,500 pounds. And you're going to get all the major benefits of having a modern truck. The relatively good fuel efficiency, the luxuries, the refinement, the technology, the safety. We didn't even talk about safety. So think about how much safer your family and you are going to be if you have an accident in a brand new truck versus a 20-year-old truck. I mean, it's a huge difference in the crumple zones and the energy absorption and the airbag systems, in the safety and the active safety systems too, the collision avoidance and all that kind of stuff that new vehicles have. So my point here, you can see what I'm getting at, is that everyone always says that, you know, new trucks are so expensive and they're just toys for rich yuppies in the city who don't use them as trucks and all these things, and old trucks were better. But actually, if you really look at it, that's actually the reverse. What actually has happened is that technology has advanced and manufacturing has advanced to where you can get more capability for less money. Not just more capability, but the luxury, the refinement, the comfort, the safety, the fuel efficiency, and all those things. And you actually can pay less than you used to. So when people tell you that new trucks are way out of control, that's not really true. I mean, it is true if you're looking at like an F-150 Platinum or Limited, like $80,000, sure. But the Limited has seat massaging and panoramic moonroofs and all these things that, you know, you honestly don't need. And take it from me, I used to own a Platinum, and you don't really need that stuff. And in a lot of cases, you're going to be able to go ahead and replace your old diesel truck with a gasoline power plant, especially now that Ford has a 7.3 liter Godzilla engine, because it has so much power and torque. And keep in mind, it's going to be smoother and more refined and be less expensive to maintain. It won't get quite as good miles per gallon as a diesel will, especially when you're towing, but gas is also a little bit cheaper, which helps make up for some of that. And if you are willing to pay a little bit more to get a modern diesel engine, yes, it is true that they have emission systems and they have more that can potentially go wrong. But on the other hand, they are incredibly more capable than they ever have been. I mean, 1,000+ pound-feet of torque from all the diesel engines now and all the big three. I mean, that's insane. I mean, nobody, if you had told people back in 2000 that diesel trucks were going to have 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, they would just laugh. They'd be like, well, that's crazy. But that's where we are. So in wrapping up this video, I think people underestimate the effect that inflation actually has over time. And people also underestimate the advancements in technology and safety that new trucks have benefited from, and just how far new trucks have actually come. And as we've showed in this video, you can configure a new F-150 for less money than my old F-250 Super Duty cost, and it's actually in many ways going to be more capable. And if you want that crazy capability of a new Super Duty, you can get that, and it's not going to cost you much more than the old truck. And if you're willing to get gas, it'll actually maybe even cost around the same or even less. So my final thought here is that technological advances are benefiting us as consumers, as drivers of trucks, as drivers of cars. So when people tell you they don't make them like they used to, you can say, yes, that's right, they don't. They actually make them better than they used to for the same money. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was useful and informative and educational. If it was, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. You can support me on Patreon if you'd like. Thank you for being along for the ride as I grow this channel, and we'll see you on the next video.